All right, so there's one key takeaway that I want to make sure everybody here knows, since some of you may be newer to this whole public image role, and that is that Rotary International has a really great resource for us. It is called the Brand Center. Okay, brandcenter.rotary.org is where you can and should be going for every logo that you create, brochures that you might want to update, advertising that you might want to put in a local newspaper. It's all there, and rather than recreating the wheel, please use the Brand Center. If you have any questions at all about how to navigate it, any of us from the committee can help you with that, because the topic of this program tonight is Ask Us Anything. So who wants to ask us anything? Anybody have a solid team in place that's more than just one person?
This is Rummy. At Westtown Goshen Rotary, we have 3 backup administrators to our social media program, and there are pluses and minuses to that. The plus is that if for whatever reason, and I'm the primary, but if for whatever reason something happens, or I'm traveling for work and I can't schedule enough posts, or I can't update content quickly, there are other people that I can call and say, hey, can you help out? So that's the plus side. The downside is that everybody has their own tone and communication style. So if you go onto our Westtown Goshen Rotary Facebook page, I think there are pluses and I think there are minuses. And then I think sometimes everybody posts on one thing. It's like, no, we can't all post on the same thing. So there is, you need to, if you're going to have more than one, if you're going to have multiple people, everybody should be assigned a role, and you could structure it that the communication about what you are doing is well thought out, and the workflows are well thought out before everybody just jumps in the bandwagon.
Do you all understand that with Meta, when you post on one, you can set it so that it instantly posts on the other as well? So that is like tackling getting yourself posted on 2 different platforms for 2 different audiences. So that is a great tool, and a reason why posting on Facebook, Instagram is a good thing. LinkedIn, however, can also be great. And Remy, I'm happy that you're thinking about jumping on that soon. Jay Penny has had great success, and he works really hard to post not only on LinkedIn for his Chestnut Hill Club, but also on behalf of District 7450. So Jay, do you want to say a few words about the audience that's particular to LinkedIn and how you're seeing value in posting there?
Sure. Yes. So, and also I'll mention it in my particular club to kind of get to Michael's question. In my situation, I create the content and then I have someone else do the meta posts. So there's no one way to do this, but just a slight twist on what Rummy said. As far as LinkedIn, what I have found, it is more professional oriented folks. It tends to skew a little younger, but definitely on the professional end, both in terms of audience. And I also find in just the posts in general are more work-oriented, people that are interested in nonprofit and volunteering and the kinds of things that we would be interested in a potential member or supporter. And yeah, so it works pretty well.
Great. Does anyone else want to share what they're struggling with or what they're doing well with social? Hi, Randy.
Actually, I'm going to put arabesque over to Jeff Cantwell, who chairs our communications committee at the Westchester Club. Over the last few years, we built a strong group of about 8 to 10 people on our communications committee, and have continued to add functions and have a very robust program right now. I think Jeff can talk about some of the specifics.
Yeah, we're posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We have an internal communication letter that Randy puts out every week. He takes the notes from the previous meeting and he adds some pertinent photos and enhances them very nicely because he's a Photoshop guru. Prints that and distributes it at the meeting. And it's also sent out the Monday before the meeting. We have a quarterly newsletter that we send out to not only our own club, but anybody that ever shows up in an information booth and says, hey, what are you guys all about? We say, well, if you sign up here, we'll send you a quarterly newsletter at no charge. And we have, I think, 5 or 6 contributing authors to that. And Randy designed the header for that. It looks very professional. So that's kind of our outreach. Lisa, one thing I learned from you when you spoke to us at our, what was that thing that Kyle did? The
Zoom. Yeah,
you said be sure to post about your upcoming meetings.
Yeah.
And I thought, good grief, why haven't I been doing that for 4 years? Started doing that, and I think it's enhanced our attendance.
Good.
And I go to Chat GPT AI, which is free, and I say, please enhance this and spiff it up as a Facebook post for the Rotary Club of Westchester. And it comes back with some fantastic copy that is way beyond my capability, and it's enhanced our readership. So that's if you haven't tried that, and you can specify how many words you want it to be. I'll say, please reduce this to 250 words and make it a sterling Facebook post.
I will say, having studied a lot of AI, it's always important to make sure that the human eyeball has the final say. In other words, don't just trust that the AI will represent your club as accurately as you think it will. Make sure you're doing some proofreading, okay, and delete any hashtags that don't seem relevant, or if the language doesn't sound like really something that you and your club would say. This is where you go, brandcenter.rotary.org, and then you can either navigate through this drop-down menu here. So what we were just talking about were these, you could find images and videos. Let's say you're wanting to promote something about our causes. for your website, say, or you're updating something, and you love a really good service project photo of something that relates to something that Rotary is involved with. You just click on it and you download it, and then it's yours to use. And look at the great quality. This is another reason why we're such fans of the Rotary Brand Centers, because they've got these professional photographers in a lot of cases, or just they ensure that they're really good photos that are showing what Rotary is all about. In addition to the photo section, this is where you've got your you're downloading your logos here. We've got Rotary graphics. Like, this is something that you could all be printing out and distributing at your meetings. These things about the areas of focus, for example, here, or that could go on one of your documents. You could, this is where you're creating your brochure. They've got templates for things. So it's brandcenter.rotary.org.
I love the Brand Center. I do. I go there all the time. The one thing on the brochures, is there a way to save it and then go back and edit it? Or once you type all that in and then there's a typo, I did this once.
Yeah,
I said, oh shoot, and then I had to
yeah.
re-enter all that information. It's a very transitory.
If I recall,
word.
puts it as a PDF.
Right,
Right, so you would either have to have a PDF editor.
PDF editor. Okay, you can tell I don't have one.
You have like Word, you might be able to open it in that and edit it, but it isn't quite as nice as being able to do it within Adobe.
Or just I would add on the Brand Center, though, in general, it also has the brand elements, like the colors. So that is useful if you're creating, say, a fundraising brochure, or you're starting a new website, or something like that. And it's not just the Rotary gold and blue that we're probably all tired of seeing. There are a lot of very contemporary colors in there, and it's really cool if you're into design kind of things. But
Yeah.
So
everything's
here's a
there.
pro tip. You can take that, if you can get the palette out of the Brand Center that has, here's the color, here's the RGB values and everything. And then if you're using ChatGPT to help you create graphics and layouts and things, you can say, use these branding colors.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to do that.
That's great. And also Canva. Are you all familiar with Canva? That's a really user-friendly way to create eye-catching graphics for your social media posts. It's very easy to use. You do not need to be an artist or have an artistic background. And once you're on Canva, you can create, you can bring those Rotary colors into the Canva program, so that it's like there for you every time you're going to make a new post about, this week's meeting presentation. You've got your template there, and you can work in some of these nice Rotary colors. It's very easy to use. Again, we're happy to give you more info or give you a little demonstration at another time. But for now, we'll just continue on with Ask Us Anything. Who has another question about any topic at all? And by the way, thank you for coming. I know you could be doing other more fun things, but we're trying to make this fun. And we really appreciate the help, because just the more Rotary information gets out, the more potential members we can reach. And we're really wanting to grow and needing to grow, and we all know how good Rotary is, so let's tell more people. But let's tell them in a way that really represents Rotary the right way. So that's part of the work of public image folks. So I'm glad you're here. Any other questions? I think it depends on the club. Ideally, I would think that the membership chair would work with the public image chair to work on the messaging that would serve all the goals. Does anyone have anything to add to that question? Who is the right person or persons to create a club brochure?
Yeah, Lisa, I would just add to, what Brian just said too, is although I have not personally used those brochures, I did look at them, and they're pretty nice. And from what I recall, you can add your own club's photos to make it more personalized to your club rather than some generic person from Rotary. So they're pretty good. And if I was in a small club and didn't have the resources, I would do that in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, so that's what we did at Westtown Goshen Rotary. And I would have to agree with Jay. They really do have some great resources from a brochure standpoint. Nice trifold. To Jay's point, you can personalize that to a great degree, and it looks really sharp. So definitely would check that out too.
The question is, what should I post? If you ever are wanting to create some content, but you're just coming up with writer's block, or you just are running out of ideas, remember that your meetings, your events can always be posted in regards to the preview of what's coming up, and then you can take photos at the event and then post those, or you could offer like a recap of, here's what you missed, look at our members in action, or look at our members having fun, or this, you could take a video clip of your guest speaker with his or her permission, just take a little soundbite of one of the key takeaways from your meeting. So that right there could give you 3 different types of posts. Ditto for all the service projects that you're doing. You can be promoting it, you can be getting little interviews with the recipients of your service. If you have presented a check or given a grant award to a local community nonprofit, get some feedback from them. Get them on camera saying, thank you so much to the Rotary Club of Westchester for your donation. We were able to purchase, 100 backpacks for the local school kids. Just making things up here as an example, because the impact is the best part of the story to tell, right? I mean, it's great for Rotary to say, oh, Rotary are good people, we have fun together, we do good things. But then, to share with your social media audience who's being impacted, what kids are being helped, how, whatever the need is in your community, if you can get some human beings, looking at the camera and saying, like, without this money, I don't know how I would have, dealt with whatever the need is. You're making that human connection, and that's something that I don't always see on Rotary posts. And I feel like it's a missed opportunity because our tagline is Rotary. We are people of action, right? And we're making a positive impact in the world. But are we really telling those stories? Are we really talking about the impact as much as we could be? And I don't think we are. So that's one of the goals I'd love for all of us to kind of walk away from tonight, just thinking more about who are you helping, and are there some stories you could be telling about the positive impact you're making?
Yeah. 100%, Lisa. I also want to, Jeff posted something in the chat I want to kind of amplify.
Yeah.
Right? That when he's putting pictures in the Facebook and he's calling out certain people, he sees more growth. And I would say, keep in mind that goes beyond your club, right? Because when you have a visitor come in and you tag them and you say, hey, thank you, or you acknowledge them, right? Then all their followers see that. And there's a whole bunch of people that aren't us that may echo that post and like it and increase the viewership of it. I found some of our most popular posts were because it was somebody in the community who was well known and has a lot of friends and a lot of network on social. And when we showed them, boom, we had like this instant hit and all these extra likes and all these people showing up who didn't know us before.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Same here, Lisa. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. So going down to the other bullet points, so we've got the fun and fellowship, impact we talked about. Remember that it is fine. It's encouraged to repurpose what you see Rotary International posting, whether through their news blog or their LinkedIn, the Rotary International LinkedIn. You should all be following those and just share it. Repost on LinkedIn. That's a nice, easy way to do it. As well as the district. Jay and I put out a monthly e-newsletter called the District Dispatch. So if there's an article that you think would be relevant for your audience or your prospective members, feel free to share it. Use videos as well as still shots. That's another thing. Brian Winter, can you say a word on the algorithm and how it prefers video over still photos, please?
So I don't think, maybe that's true that the algorithm prefers it. I'm not sure. But I know that people just get more eyeballs with video than you do with stills. So anytime you have an opportunity to put something in that's animated, that's motion, it draws more attention.
Okay, great.
District has a newsletter. I think Jeff mentioned his club has a newsletter. Whatever's in that newsletter, that's like a dozen little tidbits that you can post as little blog entries. So it's great extra content for you, keeps your website fresh. You can feed that newsletter into AI and say, hey, write these for me. And it'll do a great job of that. And I'd also add, when you're thinking about your posting, I'd almost say it doesn't matter that much what you post. The most important thing is that you're posting with some kind of regular cadence. Weekly would be great if you can manage it, even bi-weekly. When I was president of Upper Mainline and I was trying to recruit, and we'd have new members show up and they'd say, well, I looked at a couple different clubs in the area, but I chose to come here. Why did you choose us? Well, because all your stuff online was up to date. It looks like you're active, and a lot of the other clubs just didn't look that active. That's why. So at the risk of hurting UML membership, I want to give you the secret sauce. Just get out there and make some noise once a week or so and keep your stuff fresh.
Great, Brian. Thank you for that. Okay, logos and legal stuff. I already mentioned earlier that Rotary used to have the one logo, and unfortunately, it's still out there. So when you or your club's graphic designer or somebody, a Rotaract student, you might ask to create a poster or a flyer for an event, if they just Google Rotary logo, it's very possible that the old bad logo that we should not be using is going to show up for them, and they don't know any better, so they're going to put it onto your club's document, and then that's going to be you perpetuating this old thing that we're trying to get rid of for the last 15 years or so. So this is why, again, I'm just driving this home. You cannot just Google the Rotary logo. And I know you all know this, but now I'm asking you to think about who is working on your stuff. If you ever hire a graphic designer, if, again, you have a student who's willing to help you with graphics, please relay this information that you cannot just Google. Take it upon yourself and just email them the clean copy that you downloaded from the Brand Center, or direct them to the Brand Center, okay?
That part of the image that doesn't have the line through it, that Rotary, and then underneath it, the club of blah, 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 right? There's a thing in the Brand Center where you can go in a template and type your club name in, and it will produce that graphic for you with the right colors and the right everything, and it's exactly perfect.
Right.
You really especially want to be watchful of anything that looks like 3D or multicolor or what. Those tend to be the old ones that somebody that's not brand compliant created, and they're just floating around there on the internet.
Right. And again, quality-wise, like what Brian is saying, is what you'll get from the Brand Center is going to be crystal clear and beautiful, and it will reproduce really well and clearly.
Lisa, if I can make one point too.
Please.
On the logo, as Brian just said, there are color choices because sometimes you need an all-white logo because of what you're applying it to.
Mm-hmm.
Our club did sponsored food recycle bags for a shelter, and we need an all-white logo. They're there, so that's the best place to go.
Yep, all white, all black, and you can get different versions.
Yep.
And I would also, because you might not pick this up right away, there's actually two versions of that wheel. There's a version that you can actually see the text inside it for Rotary International. And there's another version that's much less detailed. So the idea is if you're publishing that logo at a very small size, you want that like simplified version of the logo. And if you want to publish it at full size and you're looking for the real correct branding, then you want to use the master brand. The things that are labeled master brand.
Yeah. And you'll see that all explained when you go to the Brand Center. So thank you for that. Okay, why can't I just use photos that I find on the internet? Unless it's the Rotary website, which we talked about earlier. We've got these reasons. Okay, it is copyright protected. We don't have permission to use another photographer's work without him or her knowing, what our intention is and what we're going to use it for. It's not fair to the photographer. The quality is a real problem. What you're grabbing off the internet is likely low resolution, poor quality. It will look blurry. It will not look professional. Rotary wants to maintain a professional image, and it may show bad people who are not aligned with Rotary. You don't know who they are. You don't know who those people are in the photo. So don't take the chance. Take great photos at your club events as well. Why do you have to use this? You may not realize. We'll just say you're having an event flyer, a golf outing flyer, for example. We are not supposed to just plop the Rotary name and the wheel on something that, I'll just say Upper Main Line Rotary is sponsoring, okay? Because that golf outing is an event that is run by the club. It's not run by the Rotary International headquarters in Evanston, Illinois. Okay, if it were something like the Rotary International Convention, they're the people who have the privilege and the permission to use this Rotary name and the wheel. The responsibility that we all have is to identify our local events with our local club. That is why you would need to have your exact Rotary Club logo on all your documents. So again, easiest way to remember this is don't just think you can plop the Rotary wheel on your creations. You have to represent your club. We have to represent our district. Okay, that's why you see the Rotary District logo on the District Dispatch. But this should only be used on things that are being put out by Rotary International in Evanston. Any questions or comments on that?
I have one, Lisa.
Yes.
Another option in the brand center is a partnership logo, so that if you are truly partnering with a university, another nonprofit, there is an option there to import either their logo or just the name of the organization with you. So just be aware that that is there, because many clubs do once a year or so partner with another organization.
Yeah, and that's called a lockup. And
Yes,
you'll see
the
the
Rotary
Rotary Club logo with the vertical line and then the Boy Scouts of America, Pennsylvania chapter, whatever it is, like on the other side of that vertical line. Okay. In simple terms, why should we care about public image, or why should we care about communications? We're too busy with fundraising and membership. We have all heard that in some form or another, haven't we? Yes. So remember the three-legged stool. We are all important to the health of Rotary and to our club's future. The three-legged stool, there's one leg that's membership, there's one leg that's the foundation, and there's the one leg that's public image. All three of them are related and feed off one another. You take one of them away or you don't do a good job on one of them, what's going to happen? The stool is going to collapse, and we don't want that. Does that make sense to everybody? Can you see the importance? All right, public image can help share the good news. Public image is how your public is going to understand the impact that you're having by your foundation grants. Public image is how you're going to communicate. Rotary is welcoming new members, and we're having a fabulous, happy hour that you're invited to. That's how we grow. This is how we can expand our reach, which is part of the Rotary Action Plan that you're going to be hearing more about this year. Okay. And then this is a challenge, especially for the smaller clubs. We don't have any graphic designers in our club. How can we make things look nice? Well, in your Rotary Toolkit now is the Rotary Brand Center, as well as Canva, which again is a free program, and it's going to help you really put out some great looking posts and creations. And again, I could barely draw a stick figure when I started using Canva during the pandemic, and now I'm really comfortable with it, and I like it quite a bit. You can even create videos with Canva. So please check that out if you're not already using Canva.
Yep, I would also do another
Yes.
plug, right? You can treat AI, whether it's Chat GTP or any other AI, right? There's a lot out there.
Mhm.
As your intern who knows how to do graphics, and as Lisa's queued up earlier, you don't want to just say do it and not really check it and not really think about it.
Right,
But
right.
it can absolutely help you if you don't have that design wizardry to feed it ideas, and it'll give you iterations of things and try to help you design a really great brochure
Mhm.
or folder, whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. It may also give you, 15 fingers if you don't proofread it and spot check it. So do make sure that.
You do your own graphics. We know
Yeah.
graphics it produces can be highly suspect.
Yeah, good point. All right, so that's all that I had in the way of that presentation, those slides I wanted to show you, but we have 10 minutes left. If there are any other questions, we'd welcome a chance to entertain them. Say, we're so happy you've joined. We'd love to post your photo from your induction ceremony. Is that all right? And is it okay if we mention what you do for work? Or can we say that you're an employee? That might be an area where maybe somebody's not comfortable with their company name being mentioned, but you can say, John Smith, accountant from media, Yeah.
I
A
think
smooth
it's
way-
more than a courtesy.
Oh,
I think you have to.
You have to.
Some people, they don't want their photos on social media. So one thing you could do is when a new member comes, there could be some sort of release form, photo release form. Sometimes we take photos at clubs. Is it okay if you're in a photo? People can opt in or out, but no, you need to get permission.
Thank you, Rosemary. That's
Just what I see most people do is, hey, here's the thing happening. Hey, can we grab a picture to post on social media?
That I do.
They
Yeah.
post.
Easy
They're
peasy.
giving you that permission, right? So
yeah.
don't worry about it too much. It's never too late to post content, even if it's a month old, better than being a year old. So always better to have something. Facebook, once upon a time, did have the ability to backdate pictures and posts. I remember doing that on occasion, but I haven't tried to do that in a long time. I don't know if the capability is still there. Most social media, it's that day, or you can schedule to be posted later and automate that. There's tools in Facebook and Instagram to do that. But as far as backdating a post, I'm not sure if you could fudge the date and make it look like
Yeah.
But I would say only a month or so. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and post that. Or you can always take the attitude of like, hey, I'm 30 days in and it's been such a great ride so far. And I'm remembering my induction ceremony and bring it forward and talk about how much you've learned and how great it's been in the past month. And thank you to everybody in my club. Or, just a way to spin that.
Yes. Hey, George.
I'm curious if anyone has celebrated an important anniversary of their club and what tools they might have used to do so.
Oh, great
We're
question.
coming up on our centennial year next year in the Lower Main Line.
Yeah. Well, Philadelphia is one of the oldest clubs. That's my club in Center City. And we did celebrate our centennial with a big event in the city, the Ben Franklin Ballroom, I believe. And it was, dress up affair. I think we did have a Rotary International president there or a past president. So it is the kind of thing that you really can make a big deal out of. It's a great accomplishment. But I know that all takes planning and I don't know what resources your club has. But I think in our case, we kind of put a lot of our energy into the event. And then of course we could then post on social surrounding the event information, and we kept mentioning our anniversary and centennial.
And they had a service project to plant 100 trees, and of course that was all over social media.
Oh, that's great! 100 trees planted to celebrate 100 years. Yeah. So then maybe George, maybe Jeff.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. Follow up with.
It's a great opportunity to tease the event with multiple posts over a few weeks, right? Highlighting who's coming, what you're doing, right? It's also an opportunity to go back in your archives and post some old photos and say, remembering our founding, and here's what we were doing, and the kind of impact that you've had on your community. And again, ChatGPT, feed it some information. Say, hey, I want a good blog article on the impact that this club has had on the community over the past 100 years, and let it go to town.
Yeah.
I'm a little reluctant to vest ChatGPT with generalities if I can be more specific. So I'm going to be looking for ways to be as specific as I can.
Yeah.
And if we had real contributions to the community over the years, I'd try to dig down and find out what that was and do a little something with that. And currently what we're doing now.
Here's an idea, George. I wonder if you could create a post or two on social media asking your readers, asking your community, if our Rotary Club has made a difference in your life over the past 100 years.
I love that. Actually ping your audience. Hey, talk about.
Let us know.
And from all the organizations that you've donated to or done service projects to.
Yeah. And you might hear from somebody who said, you gave my child a scholarship, or you sponsored my child to go on a life-changing exchange program to Spain. And, he's now a foreign diplomat and works for the UN. Like, it could be anything like that. You just never know. But I think that you could prompt them with that question and see what comes back.
We might also draw attention to our organizations work with polio and say, quite possibly you haven't been infected in the last 50 years because of the extent that we have helped the world with polio.
And George, when is your event? When is your centennial event?
We celebrate the actual event in, I believe, it's late February next year.
We're George. We're not anywhere near 100, but the Westtown Goshen Club is celebrating their 50th anniversary, October 23rd. We're having a gala event, so I can get with you and let you know what works and what absolutely to stay away from.
That'd be great.
Since ours will be happening before yours will be.
You can run some things up the flagpole to see what happens.
And Remy, if we would be invited, maybe you could post the link to get tickets to your event. Maybe some of us could come and celebrate with you.
That would be wonderful.
We're also posting events like that on rotaryphl.org.
Oh, great.
So yeah, send it to me by email, whatever you want in the links, and I can make sure I get it up there if you're inviting the public to attend.
Yeah, that would be terrific. And by the way, just since we're talking about the Rotary PHL, great website. Really love it. Nicely done.
Thank you.
I hear it seems as though this was helpful to all of you who attended tonight. So yeah, let's do it again. And what I also noticed is that you were appreciating hearing from each other. We could talk till the cows come home, but I think it is important for real clubs to hear from other real clubs and not just the the facilitators. So thank you all for your engagement and participation. And yes, we'll do it again. Stay tuned, and I'll let you know when. But probably in a few months we can get something else organized. Okay. It's 8:05. I'm happy to stay and chat if anybody wants to ask a follow-up question. But those of you who need to sign off, please do. Have a great night, and remember the District Dispatch comes out at the start of every month.